Hello. What I've got here is a coconut cream pie pudding pot. It's kind of like a coconut cream pie, but without the crust. And you don't have to worry about cutting it into perfect slices. You just hand each person a cup. There's got the coconut in the bottom here. Got the whipped cream on top. Absolutely delicious. Quite easy to make. Doesn't take long. As long as it takes is the chilling time. Make them, then throw them in the fridge for a couple hours to chill. And then serve them up for dessert. So let's go in the kitchen and make some right now. Alright, the first thing we're going to make with our coconut cream pie pudding pots is the coconut cream pie layer itself. And then we're going to have a whipped cream layer on top of that after it all cools. So here are the ingredients for the coconut cream pie layer. There are here 4 egg yolks. Now, yes, I broke one, but there are 4 egg yolks in there. There is here 1 can of coconut milk. That's like this. One of these cans here. It's a 15-ounce can of coconut milk. 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream, 35% or greater. Over here, I've got 2/3 of a cup sugar. Now, if you know me, I usually use my unrefined cane sugar, but this time I am using white sugar. That's just to preserve the light color of the coconut cream pie. Otherwise, it's going to brown it up a little bit more. So this time I'm going to use white, although usually I prefer to use my unrefined. Over here, I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's just to make the flavor pop a bit. I've got here a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. I've got 3 tablespoons of butter at room temperature, so it'll melt quicker, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So, first thing I want to do is I'm going to take a bowl. I want to put the eggs into the bowl. And get both sides in there, all right. And I'm also going to add, I'm just going to start whisking those. Let's get this off to one side here. I'll start whisking that, but I'm also going to add in the cornstarch. So I'm going to whisk the cornstarch into the egg yolks. Whoa, and try not to make a mess. Okay, there we go. Just till I get a bit smooth. I've got a bit of cornstarch on the counter, so let's get that in there. Boy, all over the place. Okay, now, just gotta whisk that a bit till it's smooth, and that's looking pretty good. So now let's put it off to one side. Into our small pot, I'm gonna put the coconut milk. I'm gonna put the sugar, the salt, and the cream. All right, and then just going to mix that a little bit, and let's bring that up on a low heat. We're slowly going to bring this up until it's simmering. So get it going on a low heat. There we go. Okay. Now, just going to leave this until it comes up. It just starts bubbling a little bit, just slight little bubbles. We don't want to really boil this or anything. All we want to do is bring this to a simmer. So I'll be back shortly when this is simmering. All right, that's starting to simmer. I'm getting some bubbling happening there. So what I want to do now is I want to take just a little bit of this, not much. I want to pour a little bit of the egg. I don't want to cook the eggs really, so just a wee bit, pour a bit in, that's it, and now I'm going to mix it in there. I'm going to do this real quick. There we go. That's looking good. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Make a mess as usual. All right, and there, now we go. Now we can take that and add the egg mixture into our coconut mixture. Perfect. What I do now is whisk and whisk and whisk. I want to bring this up to heat and just kind of simmer it while whisking for about 2 minutes. See, it's starting to thicken up already from the cornstarch. So we don't have to go very long. Might even be just a minute. Let's see how this one does. That's thickened up pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is going to turn the heat off. I'm going to add in that butter right away so it can be melting. Add in that vanilla. Stir that in. Now just give that a minute for that butter to melt. Now while that butter is melting, just going to bring out the pots. In this case I'm using some glasses. It looks nice in glasses because you can see the layers. I don't have two exact same size, so I got 2 fat ones and 2 tall ones. Now what I want to do, looks like all the butter is melted, so I'm just going to whisk it to make sure it's all mixed in evenly. And then I want to fill these about 2/3 of the way full. I want to leave room for whipped cream on top. So that's about 2/3. Oh, making a mess again. I wish I had my wooden spoon out here for this. Bit better than the whisk. Okay. Now these smaller glasses, I might have a little bit left over, it feels, so I actually allowed for that and brought another glass out. Let's just fill that up with the rest. Oh. You can never have too much pudding. All right. Made a nice mess of that. Using the whisk is not the best thing. Should use the wooden spoon. But now what you can do is you can just take a piece of paper towel and go around and clean that up a bit. What we're going to do with these now, going to let these cool down. Then they're going to go in the fridge and get chilled for about 2 hours. We're going to really chill them down good. All right. See you later. And we're going to add in the whipped cream. All right, those guys have been chilling in the refrigerator for 2 hours, getting cold now. So what we're gonna do now is make the whipped cream topping. And for the whipped cream topping, really simple. What I've got here is 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream, 35% or greater. In summer, I like to even use that 47% because with the warmer air, it's harder to whip. And then here I've got some icing sugar, 2 tablespoons of icing sugar, just to give it a little sweet pop. So, put it all in a bowl. First, I'm going to toss in the whipped cream, or heavy cream. It's going to be whipped cream. And let's start whipping it, and then I'm going to add that in. I've been whipping for a little while. I'm going to start adding in the icing sugar now. All right, that's starting to come together into soft peaks. That's pretty good right there. We don't want really hard peaks for this, really stiff peaks. Soft peaks are good. I'm just going to give that about half a minute more. Good, we're going to get too stiff otherwise. That's perfect. So, now, all I want to do, take a spoon and spoon this in on top of our cream. Let's get these over here so you can see better. All right. All right, there we go. Banana cream pie pudding pots. Now I'm going to put those back in the refrigerator and chill them a little longer and bring them out just before eating them. They're going to be perfect that way. All right, so enjoy these. Great dessert. Now, if you go to the link appearing on the screen, also clickable in this video's description, you can download and print out this recipe from the Dessert Recipes booklet on Kuma's Kitchen's Patreon page. Just click the feature tag called Recipes. And remember this, for as little as $3 a month, you get access to everything on our Patreon feed. So go check that out. Now, go print out the recipe and enjoy coconut cream pie pudding pots and make cooking fun again with Kuma's Kitchen.